Shalom, shalom. This is Kapaya, aka Pops, out of GMS Chicago, with another sit down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, elder bishops out of Connecticut. This taught us this truth. I want to send up honors because they do rule well. But brethren around the world push this truth uncut, unfiltered, give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, correctly breaking down the prophecies and interaction with the people on the planet. Send a hearty salutations for the hopeful elect. Hope this is edifying for the Aquath, the few and the true that's listening to say chair to keep doing so. But for the school of scope for reprobate 2/3 Israelites and 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble, it is getting worse. Anyway, you see this global debt raises to $318 trillion in 2024, says IIF, World Business Watch. Okay, you see this is a news publication. It's foreign. It's got like 9.51 million followers, and it's that the other. Okay? I'm going to let some of this play. I got some scriptures that I'm put on it, but I'm going to let this play first because it's not that long. Then I'm going to put the scriptures on it. But I'm going to put the closed caption up because it's kind of, I won't say convoluted, this, that, and other, but I want you to see how these people are reacting to all these things. And one of the things is how America is playing out in the midst of this. So I just want to, let me turn that on, okay, so that it can be shown. I'm going to let this play. Follow along with the closed caption if you can, because I don't know if you're going to be able to keep up with what she's saying, strong-ass accents and all this other stuff. But here we go.
Now, the world's debt stock surged to a record $318 trillion in 2024, pushing the global debt to GDP ratio to 328%. And this marks the first increase since 2020 as economic growth slowed and borrowing remained elevated. The latest report by the Institute of International Finance reveals that while the $7 trillion rise in debt was lower than 2023 levels, concerns over fiscal deficit are growing. The IIF warns that bond vigilantes, investors who react to fiscal mismanagement, could penalize governments, especially in politically polarized nations.
Okay, so they're going to penalize governments. But how are they going to do that? I'm going to let you just keep watching.
UK's Liz Truss government collapsed in 2022 over market reactions to fiscal policies, and France saw similar pressure force out Prime Minister Michel Barnier last year. Emerging markets accounted for 65% of global debt growth last year, led by China, India, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. These economies
Now look at these people. Okay, China, Saudi Arabia. Okay, these are some of the more prominent BRIC nations that have wanted to overturn the American dollar, and even though they make this claim, it's still a push toward the MOTB. It's still for a push toward the MOTB. Let's let it keep playing.
face a major debt rollover challenge with a record $8.2 trillion in debt maturing in 2024. That's 10% of its foreign currency. The IMF warns that heightened trade tensions and the U.S. freezing foreign aid, including cost cuts to...
Now let's look at that. U.S. freezes foreign aid. Okay, U.S. aid cuts. So DJ Trump said that he's going to cut off funding and helping these people and this, that, and the other. And that's a contributing factor, a risk factor that is making these other countries look to turn as well. Okay? So we know, that's a Obadiah scenario, which I'm going to pull that scripture out as well. But I'm just showing you how the scriptures are unfolding, in international trade and everything else, which is gloom and doom for this Edomite but it's absolutely wonderful and beautiful for the hopeful elect. This doesn't fret us, you know. We don't care about the world markets trying to move towards MOTB because we know that when that happens, that there's a standard that's going to get raised in the process. Okay, let me go.
They say it could worsen liquidity risks. Many developing economies, including Kenya and Romania, are struggling to boost domestic revenue due to public resistance to tax hikes and upcoming elections. The IIF underscores that the need for multilateral development banks to mobilize private capital and build resilience against external shocks.
Private capital? Who does that private capital? Who owns the U.S. Federal Reserve and the International Monetary Fund? Those Rothschilds that don't want nobody to know, that hide behind, that right now has got a video that I'm going to be doing a sit down on where they saying that they one of the second richest families on the planet at what 2.9 trillion or whatever the case might be, when they was worth over 700 trillion when I first came into the truth. But they control so much of the narrative as one of them JOOs that they control the narrative as well. Okay, here we go.
Looking ahead, debt growth is expected to slow in 2025, but global uncertainties remain high. It's projected
and global uncertainties. Why would there be global uncertainties? Like I said, because things are shifting, and the American dollar isn't going to be the leading currency in the world any longer. The same way the British pound came out of power, the American dollar has fallen out of power. Okay, on the international exchange rate, the dollar doesn't have the same weight it had at one point in time. There are other currencies that are actually worth more than the dollar now because they're backed by gold and silver, whereas the dollar is just still a fiat, which is still a fiat money system, basically a fake money system because it's not backed by anything because Saudi Arabia is part of the BRICS now. Okay, so they don't have the oil that Henry Kissinger spoke on and leveraged as they pulled the last of the precious metals from up under the dollar and propped it up with foreign oil resources from other countries. Okay.
A $5 trillion increase in government debt this year, and this is driven by calls for fiscal stimulus and rising military spending in Europe. Meanwhile, high borrowing costs and economic policy uncertainty could create more volatility in sovereign debt markets, particularly in countries with strong political divisions. The rising scrutiny of fiscal balances could mean greater market pressures in governments with large deficits. As global economies navigate these risks,
large deficits. So Babylon could have been healed, but it won't. Give her a bomb. That's not going to happen. And all these other things. Oh, as we used to say back in the day, cock crew, huh? Okay. And I don't understand why this is doing that. Nothing's being charged of moving around on my other phone while I'm doing this work. So, but okay, so here we go.
the focus remains on fiscal discipline, debt sustainability, and financial.
So how you gonna have fiscal discipline when you've got a debt-based society being at the root, and it's on both ends of it. It's a debt base, $318 trillion debt. $318 trillion in debt. Okay? So it's moving from one debt scenario to another debt scenario, dangling the look of gold back in the money as why you want to get on board, when it actually, all this shit is actually leading again to the MOTB. So Let me put some of these scriptures in place. Because these motherfuckers are lying, and they lying about shit, and getting the world to want to line up with it, when in actuality, it is absolutely bullshit. So here, let me start putting some of these scriptures in place. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. Okay? He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there was no truth in him. So that spirit, hell was a as a liar, was distributed into Esau as a nation of people, and is prevalent today, and is doing what it does today, being the absolute destructive force that it was created to be. And everybody that's following him, which is what this was actually talking about back then with Yahweh Shai, telling them that they following the devil, okay, by doing the bullshit that he does, okay, and buying into his policies and all this other kind of shit, which is what was going on back then. You had the so-called Sadducees and the Pharisees, supposed to have been the spiritual leaders of Israel, having sold out for their own gain in the Roman civilization that was going on at that time, which this is now Rome 2.0, okay? Because there's no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay, and now these people, they don't have no faith in Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. So since they don't have no faith, they gotta just keep trying to trust in this shit as the wheels fall off of it. Okay, damn, the thing is doing what it's doing, and I ain't touching or moved anything. I don't understand why it's doing that. Okay, matter of fact, let me unplug it right now so it won't keep doing that. I don't know if I might be moving on this couch a little bit and hitting the power on it, but I'm not moving like that. Okay, so anyway, what's the next scripture I said? Obadiah. Let me pull some of those up. Obadiah 1 is 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. So you got this Edomite now, okay, that's in the American government. Oh, DJ Trump, that you saw what it was saying. The U.S. is cutting its military out, is cutting its financial aid to these other nations. So these other nations don't know how they go get through their financial crisis, because they're not being able to get their government bailout and this type of thing. Like you say, those people that's over there in the and what's the Holy Land, but it's not holy because the people aren't there. Okay, you got some imposters perpetrating, trying to be those people, and matching and their history matches none of the prophecies that was going to be as signs on the people of the scriptures. They match none of those. Okay, they not, and it's the biggest welfare state over there in Western Asia, formerly known as the Middle East. Okay, let's take it back as it's been refreshed. It's been refreshed back to what it is for real. The same way Yahweh and Yahweh Shai's name have been refreshed and brought back to the remembrance of the hopeful elect. Okay. Okay. Um, The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Verse 8, shall I not in that day, says Yahweh, even destroy the wise man out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? So he was never smart, but the Lord let his endeavors prosper for his allotted slate of time. But now it's running its course, and now he's being revealed. Okay, okay. So it's being revealed now. Okay. Verse 6, how are the things that Esau searched out? How is his hidden things sought up? We go into these scriptures. Simple as that. Okay. Let's go to the next one, because these people have bought this hook, line, and sinker of the world. They don't follow the virgin daughter of Babylon. So let's go 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So what did they do? They wrote all these policies and with these other governments, and now and Trump is pulling back from what it is they wrote. So he's breaking treaties that this Edomite has always been known to do. Over 400 of them was written by the so-called, went into with the so-called natives of this land. And now what are they telling the natives? That they not, that the people that were here are not Americans, are not natives, are not part of this land demographics. That they foreigners as well. What the fuck? If you a so-called Indian, they was never the savages. The Northern Kingdom that was already here when Cristobal Colon got here, and this, that, and the other, and then all the genocidal practices that was placed upon these people. If they're not the people of this land, then who really is? I say nobody. Okay, like I said, and why is they even want to make this claim now? Because all this is leading to this. All this is trying to get to this. This is Revelation 13 again, like I said, and 16. Verse 16, and he causes all, both who is he? This Edomite that wants to place himself to be in the role of God. But if you go into Isaiah the 14th chapter and read, you will see that Lucifer gets looked upon as the man, saying, "Is this the one that put these other nations in fear like he did?" Loosely paraphrasing. Is this the man that shook the nations? Okay, so it's a man. So, but it goes into Lucifer, and the world associates Lucifer with Satan. But then it says it was a man. So duh. Okay, and you people can't put these together, piece this together. So Revelation 13 says, "It causes both all small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a M to the O to the T, M to the O to the B, in their right hand or in their foreheads, and no man might buy it or sell." So this is all a individual decision-making scenario that everybody's going to have to be faced with. So it can't be an embargo. It can't be this. It can't be that. It's a means of being able to purchase and not be identified. And so that's going to be an individual scenario brought to the people and then forced upon the people. Okay? cause both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive M, M to the O to the T to the B in their right hand or in their foreheads, and no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 600, 666. So these people don't want to face this, don't want to deal with this, don't want to do is that. Like I said, we being called prophets of doom. We are. Why? Because hey, what happened when Samuel showed up? What happened when Samuel showed up? They wanted to know was he coming in peace or not? Okay. What? Was he coming in peace? That time he was there on a different type of mission. But now the prophets are back, and their mission is to tell you that the destruction is at hand. So let's go to Psalms 146 and 3. Put not your trust in princes, nor the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. Okay? But 2/3 our people, even here in America, isn't designed to do that. They're designed per the will of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, to be just that. They go follow this man. They're going to catch this Edomite's destruction in the process of, because that's what they was created to be and to do. So we don't love the Edomites and we don't love the 2/3. Okay? I hate those that hate thee. I hate them with a perfect hatred, is what David said. And this is my last scripture here. Okay? My last scripture here is 30 and verse 2. Now, I'm sorry, 1. Woe to the rebellious children, says Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and are covered with a cover, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. So when all this shit hit the fan, and you have to take that MOTB, what fucking happened? You didn't hear the men that was prophesying the doom and what was coming. Okay? So this Institute of International Finance, okay, that's keeping a watchdog and talking about the bonds and all this other kind of shit and this, that, and other, and not liking what they seeing. All the financial prognosticators are telling you that shit is coming down the pipe. Shit ain't lining up. The math ain't mathing. And they want to say what they want to say, so we don't have to talk about it. We have to talk about it because we were told to prophesy. Okay? But the prophecies are now happening even in your face. And we've been saying this years before. So now it's just coming to pass what we've been saying years prior. And the apostles even further back than that. Okay? So for the hopeful elect, I hope that this is edifying, seeing that the prophecies are prophesying. They doing exactly what they doing, bringing this man's destruction to light as he goes down. So I hope that that's edifying. I want to send all praises, honor, and glory again out to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem HaKadosh, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, Elder Bishop out of Connecticut, double honors, because they do rule well. And listen, I'm going to let the last of this play out. It's only got about another 5 or 8 seconds on it. So here we go.
Financial stability. For latest news, download
Hold on.
governments with large deficits. As global economies navigate these risks, the focus remains on fiscal discipline, debt sustainability, and financial stability.
Debt sustainability and financial sustainability.
For latest news, download the WION app.
Okay, so debt stability and financial stability in a debt based economy worldwide per the global elitists leading with the Rothschild, Rockefeller, Oppenheimer, Bilderberg, DuPont, and Gettys of the world. For real. You ain't gonna be able to sustain this. This is gonna crumble and collapse, and y'all go try to make what y'all want to make happen. And the Lord Yahweh Shai is gonna step in and correct the whole thing and put his government on earth as it is in heaven. Hopeful elect, hearty shalom, rest of the world a barber ball.